Alrighty. Just gonna wait to see if we get any viewers. Looks like we are live. Let me just copy this in. Probably take just a second for some people to start joining. Looks like we've got a comment. Give me just 1 second. Sorry, I'm gonna post about this on Twitter. There we go. Let me just pull this up on my laptop here. Looks like we only have two viewers, excuse me. So we will just wait for some more people to join. Hello to those of you who are here. Special Trees is here. Hello. Portable Thomas. Hello to everybody who is currently watching. Thank you all so much for liking my post on Twitter. I just got back from seeing the release of Spider-Man 2.1 in theaters, and I posted the post on Twitter right before I actually went to the movie. And when I got out and I was looking at my phone, I was amazed that the post had blown up to like over 150 likes. So thank you all so much for your support there. Thanks for watching the live stream here. Hope you all have had a nice day, and hope you're all excited to see what we have in the box here. So I don't have my Thomas Wooden Railway Thomas on hand right now, so I'm just going to be using the new diecast Thomas as a placeholder for now, but we're just going to wait for a moment to let a couple more people join, and then we'll do a little unboxing. So I hope you guys have had a nice weekend so far. This past week has been pretty busy for me, as has the last month or so, because I'm back in school now, senior year of college, so it's going to be pretty hectic. 18 credit hours, internship, 2 jobs, and this YouTube channel, so I got a lot going on, but I'm really excited to show this off. We'll wait for a couple more people to join, but just in case you guys are wondering, yes, the box is right here. I do have it. I'm not clickbaiting you all. It's right here next to me, and I'm excited to get it out. So I'll answer a couple questions really quickly before we actually take this thing out of the box. Let's see here. Oh, let me get crisscross applesauce. I'm getting kind of old, so if my legs fall asleep, that's why. Hello, NWR Studios 23. Let's see. Anybody else want to say anything before we start? Favorite Thomas Roblox game? I've never played Roblox, so I don't have an answer for you. Don't really play video games that much. Oh, Special Trees is mentioning Cardi and Star Switcher. So, huge congratulations to Cardi and Joey and the whole Magic Railroad Director's Cut team for saving those tapes. That was one of the auctions or one of the listings that was in the Britt Allcroft auction, and fans luckily saved it. So hats off to us. I did my part and I donated to the cause. I bought a poster, which I may show you guys in just a moment. And I also donated to them. So if you guys can still donate to them, please do so. I'm going to put a link in the chat really quickly. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know about this. But I'm going to throw a link in the chat if you want to go and buy a poster or donate. It's going to a good cause. I mean, the tapes have already been purchased, but they didn't really expect the shipping cost to be that astronomical, so they need all the help they can get. But there is the link. Go and support them. They got a lot of really cool stuff there. I mean, when I first donated and bought my poster, from my knowledge, they only had the poster, like 3 different sizes of posters, and the lady poster. Now they've got like hoodies and like hats and really cool stuff there. So go and support that if you can. Amazing Spider-Man. Hey, I just saw Spider-Man 2. What are the odds? How did it feel winning the auction? So I was never really like planning on buying anything because I'm a broke ass college student. I knew that the auctions and the listings were gonna go up in like to like crazy amounts. But on the day the auction was going to end, I was looking at the different listings and I thought to myself, you know what? I didn't get anything in the prop store auction. I may as well try and get something here. So the maximum amount I wanted to spend was $500 on an item. And that is exactly how much I spent on this item here. I spent a little over 500 after taxes. But then shipping came out to be like $44, and I was initially shocked by that. But after seeing the sheer size of this fucking box, that's not too shocking. But let's see if we can get any more people in. I was really excited that I actually won this. And compared to what other people have spent on items, I don't think 500 is anything to complain about. I actually did want. I was hoping to get like one of the script lots. That was one thing I had my eye on. I also wanted to get the production photos of like Donald or Douglas or any of the season 2 characters. I think I did bid on those, but I got outbid. But I was going through the the leftover items, like the chess club of the auction, and I found this thing, and I thought, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool to own this? It's an item that both Britt Allcroft has had, and another very important person in Thomas's legacy. So I'll answer a couple more questions, and then we'll get this sucker out of the box. And just for fair warning, these are not scripts or anything like what you're probably expecting. It's a little more vague. It's not Britt's passport. I'll just say that. That's really fucked up. I don't know why Britt's family wanted to sell her passport. That's really dumb. And it's not Rick Siggelkow either. Rick is not in here. What characters do you want to see in the 2025 Push Along and Motorized line? I kind of want to make a whole video dedicated to what I want to see in 2026 from Thomas merchandise, so I don't really want to spoil this, but I would love to see, you know, the big three, Edward, Henry, and Toby, that they have left to do. I think they'd look really cool, especially in the diecast line. Well, there's already a Henry in the diecast line, but in the motorized line, Edward, Henry, Toby would be awesome. I'd love to see Edward in the diecast line, too. That'd be awesome. And this is also like kind of a fantasy item, but I would love to see Diesel 10. I would love to see how they accomplish that. Between the BTS stuff and the new merch, and Motorized Duck and the barrel delivery set, it's cool how good Thomas is getting right now. Yes, indeed. I mean, despite all of the poor allegations regarding the new merchandise. Oh, going back to the Rick Siggelkow comment that I made. No, I mean, indirectly he is related to this. Have we ever seen you and Rick Siggelkow in the same room is all I'm saying. Well, I mean, there's another room right over there, and he might be in there. No 35mm films. If you're talking about, like, the film from the show, no, I do not have that. And I don't have any of the tapes either. Those are all in the hands of the Magic Railroad Director's Cut team. Okay, I think we'll get started here. Oh, sorry. Soda Tales Entertainment has a question. How was your day? It was very good. I mean, Saturday is always an interesting day for me because I go to school all week and then I have to go to work early in the morning on Saturday, but I saw Spider-Man 2 in theaters, so that made it a good day. Are you going to do remakes again? Yes, I will. The reason I stopped doing remakes this year, like halfway through the year, is because I moved, and I don't have any space to set up a set table right now, so remakes will continue probably in about a year, I will say. Once I move out here and, once I move out of my parents' house and get my own apartment and such, I'll hopefully be able to do remakes again. Because I've got 5 that I still have to finish. The film got burnt. Oh, no, I didn't know that. That's really sad. Oh, well, what a great way to celebrate the 70th anniversary. All of the original film got burnt. That's awesome. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I don't even remember what number lot this was, but it's not, I don't think it was lot 31. Do you like Tommy Olive? No, not really. If I'm being totally honest, I could really care less about Tommy Oliver. I don't own it. That's one of the items I always wanted when I got onto YouTube and or not got onto YouTube, but when I first started watching YouTube in 2011, I always wanted a Tommy Oliver, but I still have not gotten him. He's just so insanely priced. It's ridiculous. Gallant Legend was the last remake. Yes, but I actually have one more remake that I did before I moved out. It is for a DVD collab, which I'm still not sure when it's coming out, but I do have a remake that I'm hoping to get out. Hopefully maybe at the end of the year, maybe early next year. I'm not really sure. Oh, no new Thomas toys at Walmart. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. I just went to a Walmart yesterday and I saw the price tag for the new die-cast 6-pack, so that was pretty cool to see. I didn't see the pack in person. Howdy? Why are you questioning that? You sir, you voluntarily clicked on this video here, so I hope you are happy that you're here, and I hope you stick around because we got something really, really cool to take a look at. Hoping Mattel makes Oliver. Yeah, I'd love to see a new Oliver toy. I think that'd be awesome. This is not the stream for deleted scenes, behind the scenes stuff. This is a piece of memorabilia. This is not going to be a prop or a production thing. It's something a little bit different. And it's not a thing of a Mumphy thing either. Star Switcher tells me to open the box. It's not a Mumphy thing or any of Britt's personal stuff. It's Thomas related in a sense. But I guess we'll get this open here because Star Switcher wants me to open the box. Okay, I guess we'll get started here. Oh, before we do, I will say, I do have gloves. I'm going to wear the gloves when I take this out because I don't want to be like Soda Productions where I literally am holding the Colin prop with my greasy, grimy hand. So I do have gloves that I'm going to wear as I open this. Just for proof, I will put them on. There we go. Do you plan to make 80th anniversary customs? Yes, that's going to be my next video. I've been modifying all of the new 80th stuff with some pretty cool details, and I'm hoping to show that off in the next video. So that'll be something to look forward to. Couldn't be the lady prop. He said he got it for about $500. Yeah, lady sold for what $20,000 maybe? Okay. Oh my Lord in heaven. That did not go the way I planned. Let's see here. We gotta open it from this way, so I'll keep the camera at this level. How about? So, where are my scissors? Here we go. All right. So it looks like we're gonna get a couple more people joining. So, let's get this tape undone here. Oh my God, there are loud-ass noises coming from upstairs. Oh, they actually sealed this box pretty good. I don't even know how... I hope you didn't see my address. I don't even know how I can really get this out. What in the world? All right, well, let's try opening the tape from this way, maybe? What in the box? Dude, that is literally what I'm doing here. So, be patient, light up a nail, and just watch the magic happen, baby. Sorry, I gotta take this off screen for just a minute as I cut this really thick tape. I don't even really know how to open this box, if I'm being honest. It's probably sealed right here. Let me try this way. God, I have no freaking clue, you guys. Let me just take this off screen for a minute. Let's see if we can find a better way to open this, because I don't really know how to open it. All right, you know what? I'm just going to cut the cardboard really quickly. I'm going to put Thomas back in view for just a moment. And we're going to just kind of like rip into the box, basically. I hope I won't damage the item, because it's pretty big. I don't know if you guys saw from the thumbnail or anything, but this is a massive ass box. This is really big. And once I saw the box, I kind of realized, oh yeah, that $44 shipping price, that was no fluke. Okay, I don't want to. Okay, what about this way? Okay, sorry guys. I'm trying my best to find a way to open this. I think we actually have to open it along the edges right here. Let's see if that will do us any good. Oh, I'm going to. I should have scratched down my address, but I'm going to... No, that's even worse! Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing here. You can tell I don't live stream that often. Alright, I'm just going to try and keep my address out of the shot. There we go. Okay, this is how we were supposed to open the box. That makes more sense. Alright, 72 viewers. That's not too bad. Oh, God. That's dangerous. I don't want to cut myself. I can't freaking cut the edge here. Ugh. Come on, baby. Oh, there we go. All right, so it's the moment of truth, everybody. Don't leave the stream yet because it's getting good. All right, so there's a little bit of explaining I have to do once I get this out, but it is an item that is not directly related to Thomas and Friends, but Shining Time Station. Oh, wow, they packaged this thing good. Sorry, I hit the camera there. Oh, my goodness, this is massive. Holy crap. Man, look at that. Thank you for protecting this. Julian's Auctions. Let's see here. I guess we'll get the scissors back out and we'll open it. Britt Allcroft owned bubble wrap. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, trees. Oh, we gotta cut all this tape. God damn it. My hands are getting really sweaty in these gloves already. 80 people watching. This is like the most intense unboxing I've ever done in my life. Come on, buddy. Oh, for that outrageous shipping, you better bet that thing is indestructible. Oh yeah, like they sure did package this thing good. I mean, this is not coming apart anytime soon. Oh Christ, we gotta open it a little more. I don't want to cut my finger or anything, although you guys would probably like to see that happen live. Come on, baby. Just get... Oh, that was close. Woo, that would have been bad. All right, let's see it. Here we go. Oh, God, it's taped even more. All right, so I guess I may as well just reveal what it is now. So, for those of you who don't know, Thomas and Friends was first vesseled to America in 1989 through a little show called Shining Time Station. It was a little variety show about people that were hanging out in a station, and there was a little man known as Mr. Conductor, first played by Ringo Starr, and then later played by George Carlin. I think it was like 1991 or 1992 when he first came on board. I could be wrong there. But Shining Time Station was very successful. Was it good or not? Well, I'll leave that up to your interpretation. But it was very popular, and the show itself, I think, was nominated for a couple Emmys, as was George Carlin. So he was nominated for a Daytime Emmy for his role in Shining Time Station. And when you are nominated for an Emmy, you get a certificate. And that is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. We have George Carlin's Emmy nomination certificate. So I assume this went to George Carlin when he was nominated. And then once he passed away, I want to say maybe Britt Allcroft came into possession of it. But now that Britt Allcroft is no longer with us, it is in my possession. So to have an item that the man who shaped my childhood once owned really appealed to me. And that's part of the reason why I wanted this over anything else. Wow, they really packed this thing good. Yeah, $44. I guess that was well spent. Wow. So yeah, let's even get this out. My goodness, this is packaged very, very well. eBay sellers, take note. But I believe this is also framed. Yeah, this is framed, so I don't have to go out and spend an obscene amount of money to get a frame. Wow, this is like quadruple wrap. This is pretty impressive. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. Oh, I thought that was my address or something. So yeah, lot 81. Here we have George Carlin Daytime Emmy Award Nomination Certificate. There's the little, I guess, thing there advertising the auction. I might actually keep this, maybe not, I don't know. But let's get this tape out because underneath here we actually have the certificate itself. Let's go really slowly so we don't ruin the certificate. You're a Chad. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Come on, I don't want to cut myself. Although I know you guys would love to see me get hurt on live, right? On live, that was totally English. Come on, baby. You can do it. There we go. Alrighty. Here it... Oh, it's even in a bag. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to slide it out like this. Alrighty. Here it is, everybody. Wow, look at that. That is really something special. The Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences 1991 to 1992 Daytime Emmy Awards honors George Carlin, nominated for Outstanding Performer in a Children's Series, Shining Time Station. That's pretty cool. I assume George Carlin kept this, in his office or something for many, many years, and then, of course, once he passed away, I assume it went to Britt Allcroft, and now it's in my possession. Let me take this bag, or I guess protective seal, off really quickly if I can. I don't have a place to hang this yet. I'll have to find a place once this live stream is done. But this is going to be preserved. I'm not going to flip it for profit or anything. I would never do that. I mean, this was owned by literally the two most important people in my childhood. Here it is, everyone. Woo! The frame is a little dinged up, as you can see along the edges here, which is a little unfortunate. I'm not going to be reframing this because it's very important. Wow, we dropped viewers hard. We went from 90 to 75. Woo! But yeah, I think there's a plastic cover over the actual certificate itself, and I think I'm going to keep this on. I don't know if it's supposed to come off or not, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, really, really like that. We've got the chairman of the board, his signature right down there, and we've got the president of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences right there. Very cool. Yeah, very, very happy with this. Oh, Jay Louvier's here. Hey, Josh, how are you doing? It's nice to see you, man. That's really, really cool that you can make it with your busy-ass schedule and such, and hopefully bringing back Character Friday or something. I don't know. But yeah, really, really happy to have this. Not only did George Carlin shape my childhood, but I'm a huge comedy fan, and he was one of the key figures in re-establishing what comedy means to me. So I really, really value this. So yeah, really, really happy to have this. That's really cool. I'm really happy that a fan could actually preserve this. And I'll properly dust it and maintain it as I, live on this earth still. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to show off here. I'm again really really happy that I have this. If any of you guys want anything, let me know and we can happily talk about it. And we'll stay live for a couple more minutes. I just really wanted to show this off and kind of do a check-in with you all. If you watched the hunt episode that I just released earlier today, hope you all enjoyed that. When I was editing it last night, I was like so bored by it because throughout the middle and toward the end, it was just really, really strenuous and boring and long because I didn't find anything cool for, almost an hour. But yeah, here's the certificate. I'll just leave this on screen now. I mean, we really dropped viewers kind of hard. But I'll answer a couple more questions if you guys have any. It's cool that a lot of this stuff wound up in the hands of fans. I think it's still a mystery what happened to like 2/3 of the prop store auction lots. Yeah, I assume those items probably went to like private collectors or Thomas fans that are gatekeeping them from us, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's their money now and they own the stuff, so I guess they have the right to do whatever they want with it. I don't know. Congratulations on winning this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. For over 20 years, yeah. Let's see. I do realize that sort of productions probably will see this and they'll be like, this fucking fan, he's using rubber gloves to handle this instead of winter gloves. He's a fucking loser. Shut the fuck up. Let's see here. Thank you for subscribing, Play Real Adventures. I really appreciate that. I guess we'll stay live for probably like 15 more minutes. I'll answer a couple questions. Do you have an update on your Thomas VHS collection? Kind of. I mean, if you want, I can show it to you right now. Oh, Oliver 11 GWR is here. Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess I can show you the VHS tapes just to keep you around a little bit longer. But they are all currently in storage over here. They might be kind of packed away a little bit. I don't remember if they're in this top box or not, but I can show you everything. Nope, that's not them. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to just remove this box really quickly. You can see into my room right there. That's awesome. Alright, here is the VHS box and DVD box. I do have a somewhat new addition to the collection. I have A Big Day for Thomas. This is a very, very hard to find tape. Not really hard to find, more so expensive. But I got this for $100, which is, in comparison to like $200, I think that's definitely worth it. But it was... I think it was a bid. It might have been a bid, but they also had like a make an offer, I guess, section. So I offered them $80, and it automatically turned me down. And then I went up to $100. The $100 is the max I was going to spend on this. And luckily they accepted that. So we have A Big Day for Thomas now. So I do not have every single 1990s tape. I'm still missing Rusty to the Rescue. So after that, I'll have every single 90s Thomas tape. And let's see, I also need Nate, if you're still watching, if you want to give me some tapes, that'd be great. I still need Thomas's Soda Celebration, It's Great to Be an Engine, and Songs from the Station. Those are the last VHS tapes that I need. If anybody out there wants to donate those to the collection, I would much appreciate that. But yeah, here's the state of the Thomas Home Media collection. It's just kind of hanging out in here. The DVDs are at the bottom of this pile, so don't you worry about that. Let's see here. Is there anything else you guys would like to see? I can show you something kind of cool. This is going to get its own dedicated video soon. But I have a really cool display case to show off. Oh, this door is a pain in the ass to close. So, sorry, those are my hands. I have this. This is relatively new. This has all of the new Thomas merchandise. I got this cabinet thing from Facebook Marketplace back in July, and I've been doing a sort of progress video where I show all the changes and progress I've made to this, but it is about 95% complete. You finally have all the 3-packs, all the die-cast stuff, and I'll show you inside the cabinet here. We've got all of the open motorized stuff. Let me just lower the camera a little bit. See, we got all them. Oh my god, what the heck? No, my Railway Series Thomas fell. I just rehung that the other day, and it already fell down. That's awesome. But I've got all the new motorized stuff, including some customs that you can't see yet because it's going to get its own video. But yeah, and then some stuff on the bottom here. And then I wanted to vote each row here. Let me get my jeans out of the way. I am wearing pants for the record, but I wanted to take my jeans off. But I want to dedicate each row of the cabinet here to a specific year of Thomas anniversary stuff. So, like, this is all 60th stuff. This Thomas right here is just a placeholder for now until I can get a blue metallic Thomas. And I know this wasn't, like, 65th stuff, but this is going to be, like, for the 60th Percy and then the blue metallic Thomas. And then I also want to get a 60th Henry to put up here, but I do not have that. And then this row is also complete. I have this really cool Thomas that I was keeping new in the box for a while, but I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'll just open it and put it here instead of spending like $20, $25 to get one loose. But he's hanging out here, and then I also have the Introducing James. I was considering for a while to get a custom green Thomas, so this could be like the 70th row, but I didn't really want to do that. And here is the bottom. I do want to get that 6-pack, the new die-cast 6-pack to put back here, because for the longest time I had the box with this and the 2015 Thomas up here, but since it's open now, it's not really worth displaying. But here's some of the die-cast stuff, and oh, it's really hard with the tripod here, but I'll show you everything else I have underneath here. Some pretty cool stuff. And then in the drawers here, we have some interesting stuff. I've got a box for an extra Ruby Thomas. All of my pamphlets are in this bag right here. There's no real convenient way to like display these, so they're just kind of hanging out in this bag. And I also have all my character cards here. I want to get like a baseball book or like a baseball card book to put all these in. I think, oh, who was it? Faraway Quarry? Is that his name? He did like a Thomas character card collection video, and I want a book like that just to put all these in instead of having them in like a bag like this or just hanging loose in the drawer like they are right now. But that's in this drawer. And then I also have this drawer, which has some yearbooks. And then I also want to get something else to put in the back here. I got this Herald from Wooden Fan 1 a couple months ago, and that fits very well here. But I'm also considering getting that, what is it? Is it Tomica Thomas? The Japanese die-cast, the gold Thomas, that one. I want to get that to put back there just to kind of fill the space there. But that's pretty much all for this cabinet here. I'm very, very happy with it, and it's going to get its own dedicated video soon. But for those of you lucky fans watching this live stream, you get early access to that. And here's the Sir Topham Hatt poster that I got. I don't love it on the door. I kind of want to put it where this E.T. poster is, but now that I have the George Carlin thing, I might put that right here, but I don't know. And I also have this Thomas Wooden Railway sign that would have been displayed at stores back in the early 2000s, but I got this off of Facebook Marketplace a little while ago for like $20. I thought that was a great deal. And I was very shocked to learn that this is kind of like, not like foam kind of a little bit. It didn't ever come across to me that this was foam until I literally picked this up, but it's pretty cool. I would really, really, really like to see a bunch of people who have these signs like connect the track. I think that'd be really cool. Oh, here's a Lego shelf, by the way, because I'm really into Legos. Well, this isn't really a Lego thing, but it's a Home Alone shelf. There is me with my mom. We met Macaulay Culkin last year. He did a little Home Alone tour, and I was very fortunate enough to meet him, and that was really, really cool. Got some more Legos here. I love Legos. Legos are freaking wonderful. I love that Jaws set, by the way. That Jaws set is awesome. Oh my god! Sound off in the chat. Steam Engines United is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to you. I hope your stupid ass son gets a piece of birthday cake, but happy birthday to you. Everybody say happy birthday to Steam Engines United in the chat, because he is probably the coolest fan I have. He comments on like every single video I have, or I release. And he's always complaining about his stupid ass son, which rightfully so, because he's a fucking idiot. But we got a couple Funko Pops here. Ignore this. I was watching that. But we got a bunch of Funko Pops here. Again, love Funko Pops. Got Spider-Verse Art of book. I really like Spider-Verse. This is pretty cool. This is from Michael Donnell. I have his first 3 CDs. They're actually in my car because I listen to them on occasion. But I think this came with the first CD, so I keep this displayed here. And then I also have, you probably saw this in a couple other videos. Let me try and, oh no, it's not. I don't have an address on this, but I have the That's What Friends Are For lyric sheet. Pretty cool. You saw this in my studio tour from earlier in the year. And then I still have the barrel launching set box, but it's so big that I can't really put it anywhere else, so I just have it displayed right here. And then for those of you who are wondering what's up with my collection, everything is kind of like under my bed right now in storage. I'm going to have to break all the stuff out to make my collection videos pretty soon, so that'll be nice to get them out. But here's all the die-cast stuff. Very cool. And I did just finish up the Wooden Railway collection video. I guess like filming. I still got to edit it and do the voiceover for it. But for those of you who were a bit late to the party, here is what I unboxed. This is George Carlin's Daytime Emmy nomination certificate. I won that in the Britt Allcroft auction. Very, very happy to have something from, or not something from Thomas and Friends, but like related to Thomas and Friends. Very cool. My son tried blowing out the candles, had to send him to his room without cake. Yeah, good for him, because he's a loser. Alright, I guess we'll stay on for like 10 minutes or so. I'll answer a couple more questions if you guys have any. I don't want to hold this. Okay, you know what? I do have these. I sounded really weird when I said that. I have these. I've got these things, because I just finished up filming these. I can use these to prop up the certificate. Oh, look at that. That's big brain thinking right there. That's why you got to go to college, to think of ideas like that. Okay, question time. Thoughts on the Brenner era? I love the Andrew Brenner era. It's such a nostalgic era for me, too, because that's when I was getting really back into Thomas. Oh, yeah, love it. Season 20 is, without a doubt, my favorite season, and that is probably one of the best seasons of Thomas, if I'm being totally honest. Thoughts on Amphibia and the Owl House, or you don't actually have thoughts on them? Unfortunately, I don't know what those are. I apologize. Gotta put Fred next to the award. Oh, yeah, let me get Fred out here. I don't know the reference, but somebody will probably like it. But I'll get Fred out here. Yeah, you can't really see him. He's gonna be like, oh, there we go. Put him right there. There's Fred. Okay, let's see here. Do you have the G-Scale Thomas collections? No, I do not. I have a couple Bachman items. I've got Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle, and I have Donald, Douglas, and Oliver. Do you think season 21 of Thomas is the worst? No! Season 21 is awesome. I think that's the second best season of the Brenner era, if I'm being totally honest. I love season 21. That is an incredible season. Excuse me. Despite the, I guess, shortcomings and the cut episodes. The Magic Railroad scripts and sweater will be uploaded onto YouTube and on a screen near you. Oh, thank you, Emerald Tender. I did see somebody got that on Twitter, so it's nice to see that another fan has those. Do you have a classic Tommy Thomas? Do you mean one from, like, the 90s? Yes, I do. That will be in my next collection video, but I've had one for, oh God, almost 10 years now. Oh, excuse me again. Bad voice cracks, even at 21. Jesus. Worst season of Thomas? Do you mean definitively or in my opinion? Because definitively, I don't know, but in my opinion, I mean, yeah, like everybody says season 15. That is a terrible season, and I totally agree. But I really don't like season 23. That's a really, really bad season. And I do not hate season 12. I freaking love season 12. That is an amazing season. Um, let's see. What do you think is the best season? Let me tell you about season 5. No, season 5 is definitely my favorite season. I love season 4. I'm a really big fan of season. I love all the classic seasons. Season 1's really good. Um, yeah. I could probably go with season 5 though, and then season 20 is also up there. I love that one. Favorite Spooky Thomas episode? Probably Duncan Gets Spooked. I really love Ghost Train so much. I was just thinking about this the other day. I think what makes Ghost Train stand out so much to me is up until that point, all the Thomas episodes have been kind of like, cutesy, like storybook, cool stories. Like the sets were impressive, but they mostly took place during the day. There were some cool crashes and such, but it was all like kind of cutesy, like English countryside stories. And then this episode comes around, and it's visually so different. And seeing these sets that we're so familiar with in these conditions is really damn cool. I love Ghost Train so much. It's also just a great story, not just visually, but in terms of an actual narrative and such, it's really, really cool. My son loves season 15. Well, I don't love your son. How do you feel about Molly almost coming back into the CGI series? I'm indifferent. If they could have made her a really cool character, I would have liked it, but I could really care less for Molly, if I'm being honest. Do you wish Duck, Donald, and Douglas were in Hero of the Rails? I mean, if they were in the background, that'd be cool, but I don't know what they would serve to the actual story. I remember, though, like, God, when Hero of the Rails first came out, like around that era, there's that really wide shot of the Steamworks, and I was so convinced as like a 6 or 7 year old that it was Donald or Douglas that was going past it. There's that the first shot of the Steamworks, you see like Mavis with a truck, and I thought it was Donald and Douglas. Um, Sorry, let me take this glove off. I'm not gonna hold the award for the remainder of the stream. Favorite Thomas movie? I'm going to sound like a broken record when I say all these cliches, but Lost Treasure is wonderful. But I also love Blue Mountain Mystery, and I really like The Great Discovery, and Hero of the Rails is pretty good too. Have you seen No Way Out? I have not, unfortunately. I don't really keep up on Thomas fan series that much anymore. I just don't really have the time. Do you own any of the Thomas minis based on SpongeBob SquarePants characters? Nope. The only Thomas minis I have are the original Bill or Ben. I have the Thomas from 2022 that Wooden Fan 1 gave me for my birthday this year. I have the new Thomas mini with the shortened wheelbase, and then I also have the green Thomas and the black James. Those are the only Thomas minis I have. I could really care less about the minis if I'm being honest. Do you think Journey Beyond Soda is overhated? Yes, I love Journey Beyond Soda. That is a great movie. Somebody made a post about that today. They were like, "Oh, I just watched the ending of Journey Beyond Soda. Or this would have been a great finale for the show." And I totally agree. Journey Beyond Soda is a really great movie. If you get past all of the negative criticism surrounding it from like 2017, like, "Oh, the engine's bound, so it's not very realistic. Thomas gets hit by a bucket when he's connected to a magnet." If you get past that, the story is probably the darkest and most gritty story they've ever told. Yeah, I really like Journey Beyond Sodar. Thoughts on Chuggington? I don't think I ever really watched Chuggington. I do have a memory of watching like an episode back in the day, but I don't really have any opinions. I have not watched Chuggington. Oh God, like 15 years maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time. Are you ever going to use more variation in color with your shrubs and videos? Also, where do you store them? Um, well, I mean, I have two different colors of shrubs. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. If you want me to use like red or yellow shrubs or like orange shrubs. Um, I don't know. I don't really know if I'm really gonna make any remakes after 2026, if I'm being honest, but I haven't really thought about that too much. Do you plan to remake Thomas and the Breakdown Train? And do you plan on remake excuse me, God, I can't talk tonight. And do you plan to remake Special Attraction? Special Attraction maybe, because I do have Bulstrode now, so I could totally do that. I don't love Special Attraction, if I'm being totally honest. I think it's kind of a weak episode. But it would get a lot of views for that crash. And then Thomas and the Breakdown Train, you just wait and see. Which is worse, Thomas on the Billboard or Topped Off Thomas? Topped Off Thomas. Thomas on the Billboard is fucking wonderful. I love Thomas on the Billboard. That is unironically one of my favorite Thomas episodes. I love Thomas on the Billboard. That is literally, I'm gonna make a video about this hopefully. That is the most chaotic episode of Thomas and Friends. I love it, especially the US dub. It's just like, it's literally like you're on a drug trip watching that episode. It's just like things happening all at once. It's wonderful. I love Thomas on the Billboard. That's a wonderful story. Let's see here. Oh god, I think I passed a bunch of it. Or, oh my god, I passed a bunch of questions. Oh boy, oh boy. Retro Thomas and Friends TV series will get an official 4K restoration in future years. I'd hope so. I think a huge missed opportunity for the anniversary this year was not releasing a complete series box set for America, because we've never, the only complete series collection we have is of season 1 from 2004, which is cool, but that's the only one we got. Really, we can't get like anything else. I would love to see that, and I have the majority of the UK complete series DVDs. But yeah, those are pretty cool. Adventure Begins. Adventure Begins. Oh, I forgot about that. Adventure Begins is awesome. I love The Adventure Begins. Wonderful movie. That I attribute that movie to getting me fully back into Thomas. I may have told this story before. I don't remember, but Thomas has never really been like out of my life. I've always really been into Thomas, but I think around like 2014 or so, I kind of dropped it. But then I was literally just like scrolling through my iPod Touch one day in late summer of 2015, almost, I'd say about 10 years ago to the day almost. No, it's probably like late August or so, because this was right after Lost Treasure came out. But I was scrolling through like iTunes or something, and I saw Lost Treasure and The Adventure Begins there, and I had an iTunes gift card that I got for Christmas like 8 months prior. So I used that to buy Adventure Begins and Lost Treasure on iTunes, and I still have them. I found them like a couple months ago, and I still have them. They're the pitched down versions. But those are the two things that got me back into Thomas, and I've never left Thomas since. It's always been in my life since then. Yeah, Adventure Begins is awesome. Worst Thomas movie or special? If you were to ask me this like 4 years ago, I'd probably say Big World, Big Adventures. But I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot recently. There's an artist on SoundCloud who uploads a good amount of the Thomas CGI special soundtracks. And I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot, and that kind of made me rethink the movie. And I'm not trying to like copy The Unlucky Tug, but it does have a pretty good narrative. Like it flows at a pretty good pretty good flow, but the story itself is just so stupid. So I don't know if I'd say that. Maybe Misty Island Rescue, but again, I kind of love that movie unironically. Or I guess ironically. Do you still have the Thomas Wooden Train bonus packs? Yes, I do. I'm so sorry. I saw your comment from earlier this week asking me that. Yes, I still do have them. I'm going to keep them for the time being. I was actually kind of considering selling them a little while ago. But I've got all of the ones that you saw in the studio tour earlier this year. I still have all of those. Do you think Thomas should have ended after season 21? That's really tough to say. Because I would have loved to have seen more of that style of Thomas. It's really tough to say. But I think season 21 was actually a somewhat decent finale. But if we were to get more seasons in that style, I would not like to see Thomas end. I don't want to see Thomas end ever. What are some recent shows and movies you've watched? Well, one of my favorite shows of all time is Everybody Loves Raymond. I've been watching that show for well over 10 years, I want to say. My dad actually has been watching that show. I asked him this a little while ago. My dad has been watching Everybody Loves Raymond since it began. So I've been rewatching the show recently. I just started season 4. If you guys want some good quality multicam sitcom material, highly recommend watching Everybody Loves Raymond. That is a wonderful show. That's one of my favorite shows. And then I watched Spider-Man 1 last night in theaters. I saw Spider-Man 2 today, and I'm seeing Spider-Man 3 tomorrow. What Spider-Man villain is your favorite? God. Doc Ock is pretty awesome. I love Doc Ock. But I also really like Sandman, too. Sandman's pretty cool. And then, of course, like Venom. Everybody loves Venom. I don't get the fascination around Venom. He's whatever. Thoughts on Tale of the Brave? I was just listening to the Tale of the Brave soundtrack as I was coming back from the movie theater. I love it. No, actually, that's a lie. I love the soundtrack. I don't love the movie. I think the movie is okay. I'd say the movie's like maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. Not the biggest fan of Tale of the Brave, but it's not horrible or anything. Favorite episode of Big World, Big Adventures? Probably Hunt the Truck. Hunt the Truck is awesome. And I also love Free the Roads. I think somebody asked about the Michael White episodes earlier. Yeah, those are all pretty good. Not all of them. I don't really like The Great Little Railway Show, if I'm being totally honest. I think it's kind of dumb, but I think that was kind of the point of the episode. But yeah, that one's okay, I guess. Do you wish Donald and Douglas were in Tale of the Brave? I don't particularly care, honestly. You've asked me that question a couple times about, do you wish such and such were in such and such? I don't really particularly care. No, I don't know what Donald or Douglas would add to the story. I mean, they didn't really add much to Lost Treasure, but I do appreciate how busy Lost Treasure felt. I think that was probably the best way to utilize the returning characters in that movie to make the island of Sodor feel really big and bustling and busy. That was a pretty cool little touch, I guess. Do you watch The Real Xbox Nerd? I do not. I have seen some of his YouTube poops in the past, though. Worst season of Model Thomas? I've been watching Usual Bloke Luke's videos a lot recently, and I think season 10 is pretty bad, and he kind of, I guess, made some pretty good points about that. So yeah, I'd probably say season 10. Definitely not season 12. Not at all. I'm also, this is going to trigger a lot of you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of season 6. Just went shopping. I found Thomas's Halloween Adventures DVD pamphlet and the Scholastic 2-in-1 Percy Runs Away, Percy and Harold. That's pretty cool. Good for you. Have you... Oh, God, I keep losing all these. Sorry, everybody. Oh, I'm missing a bunch of comments here. I apologize. Where'd it go? Have you been to Day Out with Thomas? Well, you're obviously a big fan of me on Twitter because I totally did not post that I went to Day Out with Thomas for my birthday with Wooden Fan 1 this year. Nope, never been to Day Out with Thomas. Favorite Unlucky Tug video? I don't know. That's a good question. He's got a lot of really good videos. He's got some okay videos and some not great videos, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I haven't watched his newest video yet. I'm going to watch that right after I log off here. But I I really like Hisodor's Finest stuff. Like, somebody asked about Thomas's Odyssey earlier. That's really cool. I really want to remake that somehow. I don't know how or when that'll be, but I would love to do that. But yeah, very, very impressive that he can do 4 of those, I guess, big video compilation. Oh, technically 5 now. Those big video compilations with, like, actual actors and stuff. Like, that's really cool. Have you thought of making adaptations of stories by Barry Truck, Maithwaiter, Jolly Mariner? Not really. Maybe in the future, but currently I don't really have any interest or plans to do that. How come Britt had this and not George Carlin's estate when he died? Well, I assume the same thing that happened with the Britt auction happened with the George Carlin stuff. I assume once he died, all of the stuff in his or not auction, all of the stuff in his estate was like not auctioned off, but like I guess dispersed. And this probably just went back to Britt Allcroft's estate, so that's why Britt had it. And also, George Carlin doesn't really have any living family members anymore, to my knowledge. I know his first wife passed away. I'm not sure about his second wife, but his daughter might still be alive. I'm not sure exactly. Wonky Whistle sucks. I'm just gonna say that. Season 12 DVD pack released in the U.S. Oh yeah, like what is it called? Like the Adventure Pack or something. They did that for I think season 13 as well. Maybe they might be missing an episode from one of those DVDs, but yeah, I would have loved to have seen more complete series DVDs in America. Bro's been yapping. Hey man, I don't do live streams that often, and people keep asking me questions, so you're free to hop off. I already did the unboxing, so you don't have to stay. How do you feel about Michael Brandon making Hector sound Hispanic in season 12? I think that was just like poor direction. Like the guy, I'm pretty sure the person who was directing him in season 12 was not the same person directing him in season 11. And Brandon probably forgot who Hector was, even though he was in the last season. So he's like, I'm a very heavy freight car. We must go down the hill at full speed. Then we will biff the train right through the snow. I don't know if Gordon Fan 04, J Tizzle 12 is watching this, but we used to make fun of that all the time. Like 5 or 6 years ago, we made fun of him like almost every single day. We would say that to each other. How would you adapt Super Rescue for the TV series? Make it. I'd say make that the way Henry is written off of the Steam Team. That'd be a pretty epic way to see him go out. Still waiting on that Dale with Thomas vlog with Wooden Fan 1. Me too, man. I don't know why he's not doing that. But you gotta ask him yourself. Do you wish George was in the CGI series? Yeah, that would have been cool to see him in, like, Free the Roads or something. But I think George would have been awesome in CGI. See him hang out with Bulgy. Oh, this is a long comment. Let me bring this up here. I think a testament to Thomas's writing in the Brenner era, since I'm on the younger side of the fandom, so I grew up on the very latter half of the models era and mainly watched the CGI era, mainly season 17 to 21. Cool. What's your favorite Thomas YouTube poop video? I love Thomas 1, Edward 2, Henry 3's YouTube poops. Those are hilarious, especially when you're like a 11-year-old kid watching those. Those are really great. What is your first Thomas toy ever? Like first toy, no DVD, no book, just engine? It would be Thomas. I got Thomas as a present from my youngest brother when he was born, when my parents brought him home from the hospital. They gave me a Thomas Wooden Railway Thomas, and they gave my younger brother something else. I don't remember exactly what, but after that, I got Thomas's Halloween Adventures, and the rest is history. Oh God, another long message here. Oh my Lord in heaven. Did you know that Andrew Brenner wrote his own Thomas stories in the Thomas magazines? Yeah, I did know that. Have you watched the Amazing Digital Circus? No, I have not. What do you think of Office Space from 1999? I have not seen that. I do not have TikTok. When are you going back to the Thomas Wooden Railway remakes? Probably next year. I mean, as you can kind of see, I don't really have the greatest space. I mean, this is a fine table for doing like reviews and stuff, but like I don't have the space to set up a table. This is literally in like the main area of the basement, and my parents would not allow me to set up a ping pong table or anything like that down here. Let's see here. What else have we got? Thoughts on Thomas and the Royal Engine. When I first watched it, when it first came out, I thought to myself, wow, that is on the same level as Soda's Legend of the Lost Treasure. But now I can say it's not the greatest thing ever, but it is a nice send-off to CGI Thomas. I think it's pretty decent. Favorite hit episode that's actually good? Probably that's tough. I'm probably gonna go with maybe James the Second Best. Hector the Horde is also pretty good. God, there are a lot of comments here. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm gonna try and speed through these. Favorite CGI episode? Henry Gets the Express or the Small Railway Engine episodes? Favorite Bachmann model? Donald and Douglas. No personal bias there at all. I just think they're really great models. Favorite Diesel character in Thomas? Diesel 10 probably. Do you like the 2011 Wooden Railway? No. Especially those main, like, 8 characters. They're freaking terrible. Diesel's good, though. Diesel's pretty good. Rosie's okay. And then the narrow gauge engines are awesome. Which Lego Spider-Man set is your favorite? Probably the new train set. I don't have, like, every single Spider-Man set ever. I know one of my friends does. I'd probably say the Spider-Man 2 train set. That's a really, really cool set. Pretty expensive, though. Do you think Emily in the Middle is really the worst Donald and Douglas episode? You're really into Donald and Douglas. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, they don't really have a lot of bad episodes. That one's, I guess, probably the weakest. I wouldn't say the worst. That's kind of a strong word. Do you watch Hour of Poop? Nope. Oh, God. SDA retracted, like, all their messages. Thanks a lot. That's awesome. Yeah, adore Season 12 instead of hating it. Love Season 12 with all your heart. First Trackmaster Thomas item. Oh, God. I gotta think. It was either... I think some of you might get annoyed when I say this or upset. It was either the Toad and Trucks 3-pack or the Duncan and the Runaway Elephant 3-pack. It was one of those. I don't remember exactly. Excuse me for just a moment. Sorry about that. Let's see here. We got a couple more. I'm going to stay live for probably about 5 more minutes or so. Do you feel bad for how the TV series treated Diesel 10? Well, he was only in 1 episode, so not necessarily. I mean, it wasn't a great episode. I do kind of wish he was only a movie character. That was pretty cool. That made him really significant. And it was cool that they tried to put him in an episode, but I think he works the best as a movie-only character. I think was he the only movie-only character besides Swatter, Dodge, and Lady? Am I wrong about that? I could be. I don't know exactly. Will you ever join Blue Sky? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Thoughts on James to the Rescue? Oh, that is a horrible, horrible episode. That's bad. That's a bad episode. What do you think about Thomas and 26? I don't know what to expect, honestly. I hope we're in good hands. I'm not entirely sure, though. Thoughts on Scene Team to the Rescue? Yeah, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. That's when I first realized that the animation was getting really bad. Like, the animation was already getting cheap with, like, Big World, Big Adventures, but it wasn't horrible in season 22, but in Steam Team to the Rescue, my god, it's terrible. Thoughts on Race and Rescue from Disney Cars line? Oh, the new one, like the new diecast stuff? Yeah, I got a couple of those. They're kind of cool. In my opinion, the Disney Pixar Cars line has been really boring in the past few years. I mean, it's really cool if they reintroduced like the haulers like Gil, Chet Boxcar, and Jerry recycled batteries, excuse me. But the main line is just so boring. Like, how many times have we seen Rusty's Lightning McQueen this year? Thoughts on Soda Productions? Can't stand him? Oh, hey, Hayes. Nice to see you here. How does the Earl Thomas toys taste like? You'll have to find out for yourself. I don't actually know because I've never tried them. Which James fan-made Thomas story you don't like? I don't know off the top of my head. Have you ever seen The Nightmare Before Christmas? Yes, I think I have. I'm pretty sure I saw. I think it was re-released in theaters in like 2023, I want to say, and I'm pretty sure I saw it then. I don't honestly remember it. I hope that's not a slight against that movie, but I'm pretty sure I have seen it. Do you have Adventures of Thomas Wooden Railway? Sort of. I don't really have like all of the major engines, but I bought a good majority of them to get the faces to be interchanged with my spare 2013 Thomas to use in remakes. Tommy Oliver? Nope, don't have him. Thoughts on Family Guy? Wow, that's an interesting comment. I have not seen Family Guy in probably like 7 or 8 years. Don't really have an impression on it, or didn't really leave much of an impression on me. I'll answer 2 more questions. How about? I don't think Trees is here anymore, or Star Switcher. They probably left, but those were like 2, I guess, important people in the, I guess, restoration process of the Magic Railroad Director's Cut. So if they have anything to say about that, if they're still watching, throw that in the chat and we can talk about that a little bit. Otherwise, probably end in the next 5 minutes or so. Favorite Thomas character? NB, the Johnny Blamer fan, number 54, four-wheel drive. We'll love this. Donald and Douglas are my favorite characters. Would a Thomas 2D series style as the Railway series work as a new series? You have literally read my mind. That's what I would love to see. I think that would be awesome. I think that could totally work. Neat Bachmans do you want next? Oh, sorry. I don't think you meant like, I don't think you misspelled the word. I think you just said like neat. Bachmans do you want? Oh, I don't know. It's late at night. My brain has just gone to mush. What Bachmans do you want next? I think is what you're trying to say. I think Duck could be a pretty cool one to get. I don't really plan on getting any more Bachman stuff until like I get a like legit job and have the money. But Duck could be pretty cool. Ryan looks awesome. I really want to get the Scarlet Railway engines. Those are really, really cool. Especially Sir Handel. That's a new episode. Or a new episode? A new item that's either out now or coming out very soon. Will you ever remake any stories from the Railway series? Well, I did a remake of The Missing Coach. Oh, God. 2018, I want to say. But probably not for a little while. I don't think I'll do that. Which Railway series illustrator / illustration style is your favorite? Edwards. Love the Edwards. Especially, like, I just mentioned Ghost Train earlier. Those illustrations and tramway engines, wow. Those are gorgeous. Yeah, Edwards are, without a doubt, my favorite illustrators. John T. Kenny's pretty good, too. But man, the Edwards, those are really impressive drawings. Let's let's see here. Sorry, I'll answer more than 2 questions. We're going to end at 8:20, how about? So about 5 more minutes. Have you been to Have you been to Chuck E. Cheese? I was not expecting that comment. That's quite the comment. Yeah, yes. God, 15 years ago probably. It's been a while. Favorite Thomas Wooden Railway item? The 2006 Troublesome Trucks. Those are awesome. Love those. Thoughts on the Thomas Engine gift pack? Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. That is without a doubt the coolest thing Mattel made for Thomas and Friends before this year. Tommy Edward? What about Tommy Edward? I have a Trackmaster Edward. Have you watched... I'm going to pronounce this wrong. I apologize. Rexel Jet's Speed Draws? No, I have not, unfortunately. Have you watched any Trampy videos? I have not. I know who Trampy is. I've never talked to him before. He seems like a cool guy, though. Favorite TWR set? Mountain Tunnel set. That's a great set. Do you have any Play-Rail engines? Yes, I have... Let's see, the original Play-Rail Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle. I have the newest Play-Rail Thomas and Percy. I have the Play-Rail Connor. I have the Play-Rail Talking Gordon. Those two I got by happenstance in a Facebook Marketplace a lot. Pretty shocked to find that in America. I've got a couple just like generic Japanese engines. And then I also have the new Railway Series Thomas. Do you like the stories that Christopher wrote for the Railway Series? I'm indifferent, honestly. Thoughts on Sam, Dustin, and Logan? They're pretty cool. It's really fascinating that Mattel actually made characters specifically for the toys. Like that's pretty interesting. Favorite TWR James? I actually really like the 90s ones. Like the 1992 James, that's awesome. Thoughts on the bubble loader? What is this, 2015? Yeah, just not a very good item, if I do say so myself. Neither are the Bubblesome trucks. Do you have the Sodor Cookie Factory cars? No, I do not, but I did make a cooking video about 3 years ago where I used the cookie recipe that came with those cars to make cookies, and they were not half bad. Okay, this is pissing me off. Fellow Thomas YouTubers like me, people say you sound like Sodor Productions, and if you were, you're just him, but nicer. That's my thoughts. Sorry, I couldn't really understand that, but I hope you're saying I'm nicer than Sodor Productions, because that guy is a fucking loser. Do you plan on doing more cooking videos in the future? No, that was just a one-time thing. Which era of TWR is your favorite? Late 90s, without a doubt. Late 90s Wooden Railway is great. When did you like Thomas? How old were you? I was 2. I was 3. I was about 3.5, I want to say. This was in 2007, probably before a lot of you were born, honestly. Excuse me, again, voice cracks, my God. And I already told you how I was introduced to Thomas. I got a Thomas Wooden Railway Thomas from my youngest brother right after he was born. And then the first DVD I got was Thomas's Halloween Adventures. Thoughts on Thomas Talk? Not going to talk about that because he's probably going to spawn into this live stream. Unless you mean the Thomas Talk show, like the podcast from like years ago. Thoughts on Tess? I don't know anything about that, sorry. Which hit era character you wish was used more in the show? I think Neville could have been pretty cool. I mean, he was basically like a nothing character, so they could have actually molded him into something a lot more interesting. But I love Dennis. I think Dennis is an absolutely awesome character. Dennis is wonderful. I think Dennis is probably the most interesting Hit era character. Yeah, I love Dennis. Have you seen the original Dale with Thomas face? Yes, not only did I go to Dale with Thomas this year for my birthday, but I went for my 4th birthday in 2008 to the same place, actually. And I did see the original face then. Do you have the rare TWR figurine of Joe Sixpack? Yeah, how did you know? Will you get more Bachman Thomas stuff? Probably not for the foreseeable future. All right, one more question, everybody. One more good question, and then we're going to end the live stream because I am tired and I still have not eaten dinner yet, so I got to go and eat that. So if anybody has any more questions, I will gladly answer them. Let's see here. I'll give it 2 more minutes and see what questions come in. Will you reopen your DMs? Oh, yes, they're already open now. I reopened them a little while ago. Last question is from Oliver11GWR. What item from the auction would you like to have gotten if you hadn't gotten this one? I would have loved to have gotten, I mean, hypothetically, like the tapes, but I would have loved to have gotten like the scripts from like season 2 and season 3. That would have been awesome. And I was also hoping to get the production photos of like Donald and Douglas from season 2. That would have been awesome. All right, everybody. I think that's going to do it. Oh, and by the way, Nate, if you're still watching, if you really want to sell me Rusty to the Rescue on VHS, send me a DM on Twitter. I will happily buy one off you and those other tapes as well. But that's going to do it for me, everybody. Sorry if I didn't answer a question. I'm just really tired and hungry now. But that's going to do it. I'm really, really happy to have this. Thank you guys for watching the little unboxing segment. Hope you all had an enjoyable time. I'll make a post about this on Twitter once I have this like hung up and such. But that will probably be out tomorrow or so. I don't know exactly. The next video will hopefully be like a custom / modification video where I show you all the different mods I've made to the new anniversary merchandise. And that will hopefully be out on Saturday. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!